After many weeks of waiting and constant suspense, we finally got part 1 of Summer Fate on Grand Summoners Global. Literally later tonight, we'll be getting the first 2 units, which are actually different than that of JP. We're going in a bit of a different order here, but we will be getting Illya and Ren and Luvia. That was a lot of ands, but one of them is like a dual unit, so there you go. I'm so glad these guys are finally here. These are gonna be 2 great additions to the game. We just gotta talk about them, tell you if they're worth summoning. But let's talk about Luvia first, which is a big one. I've seen a lot of you guys crushing on this girl, you know, really going crazy about her, simping over her, as you may say in this day and age. Which is crazy, because I did some research. And I found out that Luvia is about 17 to 18 years old. Yeah, let that sink in. That's wild. Some of y'all are pushing 30. Don't lie. You know who you are. For one, the equip slots on this girl are just amazing. She has one of the craziest passives that I've ever seen in the game here. I know I say that a lot, pretty much with almost every single release, but this one I'm being really serious about. I'm talking about when near death, you give everybody 200 arc gauge and 30% DR for 15 seconds. Now, 30% DR for 15 seconds, it's okay, it's good, whatever. But the main thing here is 200 arts instantaneously on that passive, which is wild because if you look at the rest of her kit, it's like, holy. You got a skill that gives you 30 arc gauge, very standard, right? Pretty basic. I want to say a little bit on the lower end though compared to what we get nowadays, but still good. The art, physical res up for the entire team, and you're reducing enemies' physical res by 40%. The true art is consuming your own HP, and you buff up everybody's physical damage by 220. Not 100, not 150, 220. Jesus. The super art reduces enemies' damage res by 100%. Additionally, if used when unaffected by status elements, for 20 seconds, you reduce the enemy's earth res by 100%. Luvia and Ren aren't even out yet or are already going to be shaking up the nuke meta, especially for physical damage teams. You got a character that's able to apply a 220% damage up to the entire team. You have a character that's able to give 200 arc gauge when near death, which is very easily achievable, by the way, by using various different equips in the game, like the arachnid equips from the mines. And you have a 100% damage res down on the super art. What in the world? This is ridiculous. Honestly, this is absolutely insane. She's gonna do so much work, and it's just kind of crazy how much damage increase that she's actually giving your team. Not only is this unit just going to be good in nukes, but like you could also use her in like more of a sustain route if you want to, right? Because she has that physical res on the art. You could definitely make use of that in more longer form content. So she is absolutely insane. Of course, if you want a bit more with her, she does have her own true weapon, and her true weapon does increase her own arc gauge by 30. And if you're an earth unit, you also increase all stats by 30%. Also, her passive on this gives her attack up 30% and arc gauge up by 2 per second. Love this character, and she's definitely going to go far in sustain comps and nuke comps. You're going to see a lot of stuff with Luvia and Ren. It is going to be ridiculous. Now let me tell you what this 9-year-old can do for you. Summer Illya is a water human, and she is a little bit interesting. She's all about reducing enemies' magic res on the super art while also buffing up like water damage and also buffing up her own attack and just kind of making her overall a bit stronger. She also has a bit of damage ups in the kit, like whenever she's above 80%, she gets 100% damage up, and then she also gets pretty much flinch resist or freeze and paralysis res 100% up. At the current moment, I want to say in global, she doesn't have much use since mono water doesn't really have too many water magic attackers, at least that are ascended. The main one that comes to mind, of course, is Halloween Valerie. We just now got her. Later on, we'll be getting Beta, and she is another character that wants to be mainly on a water team with magic damage dealers. And the final part here is that, of course, we have Water Illya. The main thing that I feel like Water Illya will be used for, though, more so than anything else, at least in the current state of global, will be for that 100% burn res on the true art. She has a cleanse for a burn, water damage up, and a burn res 100% up. This is going to be invaluable in content where there's tons of burns going off left and right, like for example in like, was it DOT 32? Is it 32 or 33? One of the two, where you fight Soleil, where she's constantly burning you. And not to mention too, this lasts for 45 seconds. Like this is a 45-second burn res 100% up. Stack that with something like Lower Riding Mira, you got 200% burn res just from this unit, and of course, the equip. And I'm pretty sure since this is just burn res up 100%, if you have a unit that's increasing all stat res, I'm almost positive the burn reses will probably stack and you're just gonna have a lot of burn res on that team. So in that regard too, she's gonna be very good. She's gonna be good in magic teams. She's gonna be good in any content where you're gonna be getting burned and you need more burn res. Also, the last thing is that she is a little bit of a evasion boss killer because she does have a 50% evasion rate down on the enemy. Overall though, she's got some good stuff. There's potential, and that's what matters. She does have a true weapon, and that is Illya's swimsuit. This gives her 50% more damage. If you're water, you get 100% magic damage, and her passive, you buff up your own damage by 30% and arc gauge by 2 per second. And now we come to the verdict. Should you summon on this banner, or should you not? And here's what I'll tell all you guys right here and right now. There's a few units from this crossover, specifically the summer crossover we're talking about here, that you're gonna need / want. The main ones here are gonna be Luvia and Rin, just because the amount of capability she has in nuking. Summer Miyu, because she's just pretty much J 2.0. And the final one, of course, is Summer Chloe. The other three that are on these banners with these characters are also very strong. They're just very solid, very good units. But they don't have as much, I guess you could say, use as the other ones I just mentioned. Even with that being said though, everybody from this crossover is insane. There is not a single, and I really do mean this, there's not a single bad unit. Everyone is ridiculously strong. If you are just starting playing the game, or you've been playing the game for a while, literally all of these characters are worth your crystals and worth investing in. Luvia and Rin, crazy damage ups, right? Gonna be really good if you're brand new to the game. You're gonna have a character that's able to buff up damage and kind of hit pretty hard herself, especially if you started during like Kill a Kill. Well, you now have someone that you can use alongside Uzu and do stupid deeps. If you're just starting playing during this crossover, you know, still is gonna be a fantastic character. There's gonna be other units that come out during this crossover. This is gonna want Luvia and Rin on their team, like for example, Summer Miyu, even Bazette. And not to mention too, this character just gets better as you get further into the game. Like if you're at end game, right? Let's say you're a veteran player, you got a character that's gonna be insane in raid nukes. You got a character that's insane in nuke supports and pretty solid as just a regular old damage buffer in like sustain comps if you want to use her in that. Illya is also a very solid, very strong character, being able to be a pretty potent magic res debuffer / attacker. Not to mention too, with the cleansing to burn and also the burn res up on the true art, very strong. Of course, situational, right? But extremely good stuff to have here. The evasion rate down is going to help out against any boss that has evasion, and not to mention too, if you're using her alongside, let's say, a magic attack that has accuracy built into the kit, like regular Miyu for an example, lowering the boss's evasion with Summer Illya and then using Miyu pretty much guarantees that no boss in the game is going to be able to dodge Miyu's attacks. Also, the 100% magic res down that is stackable is extremely good, not only just for herself and for other magic damage dealers, but also any other flat magic res in the game. The reason for that is because stackable debuffs, like how it is on the super art, stacks with a character, let's say like Oikatsu. Oikatsu gives like, what is it, 150% magic res down? Well, that magic res down will stack with Summer Illya's because hers, of course, is a stackable magic res. It's not just only she needs to apply the magic res down, other characters can apply it and she can stack her magic res with it. The more you use that super art as well, just the more of the refund you're gonna get, and overall it's gonna be a great time. So yeah, really, these characters are absolutely insane, completely bonkers, and 100% worth your crystals. If you're going to be summoning on this banner later tonight or tomorrow or whenever, I wish you all the best of luck. I will be doing a summon video tomorrow. We'll be having a summon video on the channel for Summer Illya and Summer Luvia and Rin. And I cannot wait because I really hope I walk away with one of them. I'm praying, bro. I'm praying. Please. Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. Either way though, fam, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you all for hanging out. It's been your boy P. If you enjoyed this video, have check out either one of the other videos popping on the screen right now. Great content, guarantee you love them. As I already said, wish you all the best of luck. And last but not least, before you leave, don't forget to drink water.